Hello YouTube, I actually wanted to do a video. I know this video is kind of late in the process because again the situation that I'm about to talk about has already came and passed, but you already know me, I'm not like the typical YouTuber where they want to actually talk about a situation the moment that it happens. And the reason why I don't do that is because again there's plenty of videos that's actually already out there talking about the subject, but I just wanted to actually give my particular take on the situation. So now that that's out of the way, I want to talk about the George Floyd and the Chauvin murder trial for the most part, and pretty much the worth of a black life, which of course we already know is not really worth much these days because again how society, ooh, these mosquitoes are just like terrible out here, of how things are as far as how America actually views the black life and everything like that. I guess I better walk around because again it's kind of humid and these mosquitoes is not playing. But anyway, I wanted to kind of shoot this video again because again of the fact that you actually, when they actually rendered the verdict for Mr. Chauvin, and I guess they actually gave him, I think, what was it, 22 years, and he actually has a chance at parole. I guess at some point in time he'll have a chance to actually be released someday if he's still alive. When everybody actually heard that verdict or whatever the case may be, America was upset, and rightly so. When I actually heard the verdict and everything of, for the most part, this particular trial and everything on how it was going and where it was possibly heading, I really wasn't surprised for the most part on what they were going to do as far as rendering the final verdict, because we already know for the most part any type of time when we're talking about the worth of a black life here in America, it really doesn't mean much. And the thing about it again, I guess, is that the focus of this video is that I really wanted to kind of bring to light the fact that as to the reason why our lives for the most part is not really worth much as far as in America's eyes. A lot of it has to actually do with us, for the most part, with us and how we actually treat ourselves and how we actually live our lives and how we actually treat our communities, even our households. You cannot actually ask someone to respect you when you don't respect your own community, your own self, your own family. And we already pretty much know that for the most part that the key to respect is, of course, and the way that folks actually see, a way of how to respect you is they'll actually review you and actually see how you treat things that are actually close to you. And number one is your community, your family, those type of things. And once they get a gauge on how you actually treat yourself and how you actually view those things in high regards, and that you're not going to really be disrespected because you carry yourself in such a respectful manner, America is going to do the same thing. They're going to follow suit. And the most part is that we see a great decline in the African-American community and the society as a whole, because again, we've lost respect of what is the basic part of the community, which is the household. And for the most part, we say a lot, we claim that we all about this, that, and the other. But when it comes down to it, the worth of a black life, again, is not much, because again, a lot of it has to do with our own doing. We destroy our own kind based on our ideals, our philosophies, how we treat our fellow, personnel. It's just a whole lot of things that goes into that, that particular issue. And basically, I think that America actually knows that, and basically they're actually following suit. And the reason why they did not give him the deserved, I guess, sentence that I think he deserved, which is, life in prison. If and that's the very least they should have did, is gave him life in prison. And a lot of folks may not agree with this video, and that's fine, but I feel that they should have really given him maybe life in prison, so he can actually still be alive, but will never actually have the chance at actually having a moment of, or even a consideration of, parole. But again, we devalue ourselves based on how we carry on in society. We are out of control. We have the highest murder rate, of any other race in the country. We carry ourselves out there as if, folks owe us things. We don't want to work for anything. All of these type of things that are, in a sense, very stereotypical, on the surface, but yet still, you can't really knock it, because again, America is only seeing and telling us what they see, how they see us and how we behave. So for the most part, a lot of people were upset, once the verdict was read, and they felt that, that it was a sham. And yeah, I have to agree, it was a sham, and it was pretty much a waste of taxpayer money, in my opinion, but again, you cannot actually be too upset with them, because again, they're only giving us what we continue to give them. And the thing about it again is that anytime they can actually see or actually have someone not suffer the consequences of the taking of a human life, a black life at that, they're going to do that, even if it's a judge. One thing that we have to understand, and we still have not grasped as a community, is that all eyes are on us. And the thing about it again is that we still don't understand what that means. People are watching us on how we dress, how we interact, how we conduct ourselves, again, how we treat our communities. And the thing about it again is that when they see you disrespecting and devaluing yourself, you should not be surprised that when they actually let folks off the hook for doing something bad to us. Again, because we are actually okay with that, because again, we disrespect ourselves, we, murder ourselves or whatever. So they figure, the courts and society figures that it's okay, if we do the same. And the sad part about it again is that, yeah, we're quick to cry racism and everything like that, but sometimes it's not all about racism. Sometimes you got to look deep within yourself. Now, that is not to say that I'm giving anybody a pass for the decision that they made, because again, I still feel that, again, their verdict was a bit of a sham. I think that they should have did a lot more, but I'm just trying to get folks to understand what's going on. And the thing about it again is that the worst thing that you can actually tell a black person is to look within themselves and for them to take ownership of situations and circumstances and not be so quick to blame someone else for their downfall. And the thing about it again is that as you mature, as you get older, you'll begin to really understand what I'm saying. See, again, I don't get on here to really talk about things on the surface. I try to go into the deeper levels and try to get folks to understand the deep things of what's really going on, so they can kind of understand, hey, this is the reason why things are happening. And the thing about it, sometimes, folks get what I'm saying, and sometimes it gets me into a lot of trouble. But the issue is that I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And the thing about it, I don't care what other folks got to say, because again, this is my YouTube platform. I'm going to say, and I'm going to do what I'm wanting to say and what I'm wanting to do. But it's just the fact that we really have to understand, for the most part, that what we put out there, that's what we get back. It's a basic concept about life, and the thing about it again is that this is 2021 and folks still don't get it. Black folks still don't get it. I'm not saying that I'm here to try to educate everybody, because I know everything, because I certainly don't. But there's just some simple truths that you really can't deny, and you really have to be prepared to accept. And the way that we're living now is that some folks, they're just not prepared to accept that at all. They want to blame everybody for their downfall. Everything that happens to them, they want somebody to actually stick up for them and give them a pass, even if it's bad behavior. You got people, again, with the situation with, Monique and the hair bonnet situation. And the thing about it is that really, I had to sit back and really think about that. Because again, I don't want to, go too far off topic here, but I sit there and I hear both sides of the story or whatever the case may be. And the thing about it again is that society has, a point as far as they're saying that she needs to mind her business and leave folks alone. But Monique also has a point too, because the thing about it again is that, she only wants best for her quote unquote sisters. But the issue is that when you go out there parading around and actually portraying yourself to be down and out, the thing about it again is that, folks are going to, have a perception of who they think you are and what your ideals are based on your appearance. Now, I'm not saying that that's right, but the issue is that, hey, let's be real. We're dealing with human beings. And sometimes with human beings, we tend to we err in our subject and how we, do things. But what we got to do is we got to understand something. What you put out there is what you get back. Now, where she went wrong, in my opinion, is the fact that she actually posted a picture, I guess, on social media I guess with someone actually wearing a hair bonnet without them and their permission. Now, as much as I respect her as a woman, a black sister or whatever, and her work as a comedian, she has to understand is that you cannot go around doing things like that. You cannot go around posting pictures of folks without them knowing anything and then expect for people to understand where you're coming from. Because she had got a huge backlash, from that, from people saying that, she's being a bully, she's going around and picking on people. But the issue is, she was saying she's not trying to do that. She's just trying to tell folks that we need to be better than that. We need to, present ourselves in a more acceptable manner, especially if we are able to do so. Stop doing what's so convenient and just take the extra time and just fix yourself up. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I say, People are going to have their opinions about it, and the thing about it again is that opinions are not always a bad thing, especially if you're able to really support it with some credible evidence. But I don't want to keep this video too long or whatever, because these mosquitoes and stuff they're bad. I don't know what's going on. All this moisture and all of this rain that we're constantly getting, and this humidity here. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of get folks to really to understand and see my point of view on the situation. And again, I'm not asking for you to agree with me. All I'm asking you to do is to hear me out. Peace out, folks, and see you in the next video. Bye.